GB. All right. The Director General of the Standards Organization of Nigeria, SON, Dr. Joseph Odumodu, last week revealed that only 5% of concrete blocks sold in the market were molded according to specifications. Hope you got that. Only 5%. He noted, excuse me, that this was one of the major causes of building collapse. Joining us to shed more light on the topic is a cement expert and has been in the cement industry for 27 years. Wow. He is Mr. Johson Olaniyi. Welcome to welcome to the show, sir.
Olaniyi, please.
Olaniyi. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you very much.
It's so good to have you because when I got this information, I was really shocked because many buildings are being built with obviously substandard cement. Could you give us a background on how this came about?
In this country, we have different grades of cement.
Yes.
We have the 32.5 grade. We have the 42.5 grade. Dangote is just introducing 52.5 grade. Naturally, it's just like we have plastic sand. We have other sand that are used for other construction activities. In the 32.5 grade, they are meant for plastering and flooring. Whereas the 42.5 grade, we call it multipurpose because it could be used for plastering and it could be used for other construction activities. And the 52.5 grade is basically meant for heavy construction activities. You are building dams, you are building bridges, you are building high-rise. Okay. That is the time you need 52.5. It's not for everybody. Okay. Naturally, because of the lack of knowledge, people said cement is cement. Cement is not cement.
Wow.
It's about the specification of what you want to do that will determine the type of cement you're going to use.
So for a building normal house, like or maybe what they call this, normal bungalow or even two-story building, what grade? Is it 42 or 32?
So far you are going to use block there, it has to be 42.5. So far you are going to do bridge, so far you are going to lay the foundation, is 42.5. So far you are going to have some beams and pillars, it has to be 42.5. Wow. It's just at the finishing, when you want to do the plastering. That's the only time you need 32.
Now, I have a problem with block industries, because they mentioned something about block industries, only 5% and all that. Now, the government, do they check all these blocks? Because from
government again, you and your government.
Wait now, there's mushroom block companies, block industries everywhere. Do you understand? Somebody will just wake up, because I have cement, I have sand, I can buy the molder and start molding blocks. Okay. So are there measures that are being checked on all these people that are molding blocks? Because they are also a major, so they're not doing the proper mix.
So who's monitoring these
Who is monitoring them?
You see me smiling because it's a major topic.
So those ones will be using...
Because it's a major topic because, number one, who are the trainers? Number two, do we really have what it takes to get right block? My job is to train the artisans. That's why it's my core job. And when I came into this job, I discovered that majority of the people that call themselves block makers are just sound mixers. Because they don't know what it takes. Naturally, when you say you are molding block, you must look at the quality of the cement you are using. You must look at the sound and even the water. It takes that. The water that is not drinkable is not good for block molding.
Really? You're kidding.
Imagine.
So you shouldn't be pure water inside to be mixing.
So, and basically, when people now use inferior materials, there is no way the wrongs and wrongs can become right.
Please, before you continue, I just need to ask you very... So the house that has been built with the wrong cement and the wrong... Is it going to fall down?
It then depends on two factors.
How the foundation.
Number one, if the foundation is strong. Number two, if at the point of building, if they know that fine, 42.5 is supposed to give you 30 blocks, then 32.5, probably you reduce it to 27 or 26 because they are not of the same grade. But where people now just mix sand together and just get numbers of blocks that they cannot even defend, that's a problem. And the major issue now is that we said that even after molding block, you must allow it to be properly cured. Unfortunately, in Lagos, why we are having so many collapsed buildings in Lagos is that the blocks they are molding today on Wednesday, they will push it out on Friday. And when the blocks leaves your site, the very moment it leaves your site, you don't have any other control in it because they are just removing from the vehicle and they are putting load on them immediately, which is not supposed to be. Naturally, blocks are supposed to be molded today. Tomorrow, they are supposed to start the curing by soaking it for minimum of 7 days. And you are supposed to even start dispatching at the end of 14 days. At that 14th date in Lagos, they are already commissioning the house.
Goodness me. You know what, let me invite our callers because I know people, a lot of people are in this problem. They are building blocks and they have no clue. You can call us on 070-8066-8014 or you can tweet to us at YourViewTVC. We'd like to hear your thoughts or questions on this issue. Now, as somebody who's building a house and you're just a normal citizen and you want to build a house, how do you know, how do you inspect, how do you ensure that the block you're buying actually is the right grade for what you want to do?
Number one, you can carry out 2 tests. The first is sound test. The second is the rubbing test.
It's a sound.
Yes.
Okay.
When you tap a fully cured block,
Okay.
it gives you one sound. Boom, 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 boom. That sound means that the block is fully cured from inside out.
I wish you brought a block. I wish you brought a block today.
When it is out in, that is when you just see the dryness outside, but it's not fully cured, it gives you a bass voice. Boom, 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 boom. That's number one. Then number 2, you do a rubbing test. A rubbing test, when the particles are coming out, definitely that block is not good. Then number 3, when you get to a block model and you see so many broken blocks there, it's like taking your TV to somebody that you see a lot of heads of TV. Yours will join because if the quality of demand is good, definitely people will bring the TV, get it repaired, and remove it out. So when you now see a lot of blocks there, broken blocks, make sure that you are just knowing that the standard of that man may not be good enough. And what do? When they want to supply 500 orders, they send 510 or 520, thinking that at least minimum of 10 or 20 will break before they get there.
Now, I'm going to ask you, sir, it baffles me that most people building houses don't even know about the cement quality. And I'm thinking, why do they go below standard? Is price a major issue? Because I'm assuming that 32.5 and 42.5, they probably might not be the same price, right?
Unfortunately.
Okay.
The
Before I
price
let
of
you answer that question, let me take a quick commercial break, please. We're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Yes, you were answering Sanzi's question.
People are still selling rickety B2 at the price of branded limousine. The price of 32.5 outside is almost at par with that of 42.5. And it's not supposed to be.
Wow.
And that's why SN is coming up with this new policy. Under tag CB 3174. That is, the people, the public must not be misled. They should be able to know the different grades of the cement and the usage. And they don't even do that alone. They now put it in form of coloration. That is, if we're producing 32.5, it must be a yellow background. And you must endeavor to put for plastering only on top of it.
But they end up building with it.
So this
So
cement
let me finish.
company-
Then if it is 42.5, it must be on blue. And it must be written for multi-purpose. And if it is 52.5 grade, it must be on red. It must be for major construction activities. Why are they saying this thing? So that even in the village, if you want to build a house, you now know that it is when it gets to plastering stage
You now buy 32.5.
that you buy 32.5. You want to do flooring, that's 32.5. But if it's the major construction activities in your house, you want to do beams, you want to do pillars, you want to do slabs, you want to do other things, you want to mold block, it has to be 42.5 grade.
Sir, but isn't that too much burden on the consumers? Can't the SON ensure that these block makers are up to standard? Because me as a normal person, am I going to start saying, okay, if I don't see red, if I don't see blue, you may not remember that. Let them ensure that those block makers are doing the right thing.
No, sorry, I want to add to what Maria is saying, because the block man, we are currently doing a project. The block man, the first 1,000 blocks that he supplied were okay. The next set, subsequent supplies, do you understand? They cut corners somehow. So if there's a standard already that says that this block does not meet specification, I mean, who will check it?
This block maker doesn't meet specifications.
You understand?
Yes, the standard and the control, they are two different things. We said 170 million people in this country. How many SON staff do we have?
Well,
That's
we can
number
be
one.
your SON staff.
Then you can be my SOS, and that's why we are now educating you. That when it brings this block to your site,
Yes.
you need to do all
Inspect
these
it.
tests.
Okay.
You look at it. You look if a block is fully soaked with water and it's not dry, and you then ask a question, sorry sir, when was this block molded? He said Monday or Friday. I'm sorry, I cannot take this one because you are paying. It's your sweat.
Let me take this call, sir. Jessica, good morning. Are you there?
Yes, please.
Go
Good
ahead.
morning.
Thanks for calling.
I want to comment, first of all, on the first topic. When we're talking about children going back to school,
Yeah.
you're not talking about private school only. You're talking about both public school
Yes.
and all that. And the outbreak will be terrible. Now, back to this present matter. People are buying cement. Is it possible for one to produce his own cement while building? Is it cheaper to buy, or is it better for one to produce his own cement to be able to build a standard house? Thank you.
Let's say like you can buy the machine. I could go do your own block yourself and make sure it's properly treated. That's what she's saying.
People build blocks, but I'm not sure of the
It
cement.
It is, cement production is highly capital
Technical
intensive. It's not just anything you can just go into it and then you can say because you want to build a house and then you have to roll out several millions or billions of naira to produce cement. It is highly capital intensive. And that is why, as at 1980, that's why all these local plants in Nigeria could not survive. Because by then it was government and the people that were just sharing. Not until the reason that technical people, people that are very sound, people that really know the business actually go into it.
All right. Okay, we have Yakub in the call. I'll take Yakub's call. Good morning, Yakub. Are you there?
I'm here.
Thanks for calling. Go ahead.
And then good morning to you all. Yeah, first of all, let me talk about the first topic.
Yes.
I go with Sister Yeni this morning. We are talking about the children. And then the responsibility of federal government is to provide security for life and property of all Nigerian citizens. When we are talking about these children going back to school, and then federal government already tell us they postpone the resumption date. And then one thing the NMA should talk is that the federal government should make sure they provide all these things that we are seeing in the bank today. Even I don't know what to call about this thing that I used to check Ebola temperature. I don't know what they call it about. They should provide it for both private and the public school, because don't let us forget that all these private schools, when they left the school, they still meet with those children that going to their public school. So that is it. But this one that we are discussing about now,
Yes.
the Nigerian government telling us that they want to create employment for Nigerian citizens. This is how they should make sure they create employment. We are talking about molding blocks. All these people that are making blocks, Nigerian government should go to a new site to set up the industry to employ the people, especially the person sitting down in your studio. They should make sure they add all those companies so that they can be able to provide quality blocks.
Thank you very much. I think that's an interesting point he made, that we should decentralize.
Like all this mushroom.
Yeah.
Even somebody just tweeted that there's a particular man, Chris says, nice topic. In fact, there's a particular man at Ejibo. He gets his sand from the streets to mold blocks and uses lesser cement for all.
Let me take a quick commercial break. When we come back, you're going to address the crack in the wall in YK's house and see how we can prevent it. Stay with us, we'll be right back. Welcome back. Yes, you're talking about the tweet.
Yeah, I saw this tweet from @Bidemi Fumi Morayo. She says, a building collapsed like a month ago, very close to TVC. That's number 12 Jimo Balogun Street. Now it has been patched up for rent.
How is that possible? Goodness.
Before you answer the question, I need to ask you this. When we were reading the research, most of these companies were saying SON are being unfair, that the 32% is okay. The 32 points as opposed to the 42 points. Are they not as liable as...
And how are we sure that they are going to
Let me tell you,
42.5?
the history of 32.5 dated to 2006. Before 2006, there was nothing like 32.5. Even those houses they are making reference to today that were built with 32.5 were never built with 32.5. The Cocoa House was never built with 32.5. They were built with 42.5. Why are we deceiving ourselves? And if we are now saying somebody is coming last before, we say, okay, please read and come first. In proof of the quality. So what you are not saying, 32.5 is specifically for plastering flooring. You should not use that one. I call it Agidi and Akamu. Agidi means the 42.5, which is solid. Akamu means the 42.5. So what are we talking? They are two different, even though they are both made with processed corn. Are you getting it? But they are different. 32.5 is for plastering. It's like a finishing.
So in our house now, so those of us, we have cracks in the walls, where there's in that kind of situation, how do we fix it?
Fine. The cracks in the wall could be number one, there could be so many reasons.
Okay.
The foundation problems, the terrace of the house and whatever. But if it has to be properly fixed, there's what we call letter 8 rings. They must be able to patch it in so that the rings will bind the divorced marriage together. I call it that way because there's a crack now. Then there's letter 8. And there's only a special guy that can do that. They will put rings there, letter 8, and then they will now put very solid cement.
So the final question, in this kind of situation whereby there's a building somewhere that everybody knows that collapsed and suddenly it's patched up, who do we report? Can I report to SON?
You can report to SON, and SON cannot claim that they don't know. But unfortunately, even if we report to SON, why was the house collapsing in the first instance? So many things are wrong. So many qualities are being compromised. The usage of the cement is compromised. And when it comes to beams, slabs and whatever, the type of iron rod they use are compromised. When it comes to sound, the quality of sound used are compromised.
Our time
When
is
it comes
fast. Our time is fast spent. Oh, I mean, I really appreciate you being here. I mean, I think we've
These
learned quite a
people just
number.
commit suicide.
But it's, I
Like,
mean, I really
suicide
appreciate
and
you being here.
murder,
Thank you very
sorry.
much for
Okay.
the show. Obviously, we definitely need to pay attention more to the kind of blocks we buy going forward.
Cement.
Girl, you can watch your repeat broadcast. Thank you very much.
Please,
ladies
we
and
need to have more education on this, so. Or maybe I can come and see you one-on-one.
She has a crack in her wall. All right. Thanks for watching, viewers. You can watch a repeat broadcast tonight at 11:30 p.m. Or you can go to YouTube and look for previous episodes. Just click in TVC Entertainment and search for Your View. As usual, maintaining a higher level of personal hygiene and cleanliness is the key to preventing Ebola virus. Wash your hands regularly, disinfect, and stay vigilant. God bless you and see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.